What's up, guys? Welcome to this installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs. We've got the Aztek hooked up. Let's go ahead and give it a cold start. It's been a few days. Alright. It's been a little while since the Aztek has been documented on video. Still running pretty decently. I mentioned in a previous vlog how, well actually, yeah, it was when we were trying to fix the window. Ran it out of gas, so I put some gas in it, and ever since then it's been running slightly shaky. Definitely hasn't been running as smooth as it was after I got it up and running. Once we got the misfire fixed, and then all that stuff, it was running really good, but now it's back to running just a little shaky. I think we sucked up some of the dirt and sludge at the bottom of the fuel tank, so we'll get some fuel cleaner and stuff in there. The fuel filter is brand new. For those of you who haven't seen the video, we got a brand new fuel filter on there, and hopefully there wasn't enough in it to really plug that up, but I'm thinking maybe the injectors and stuff have some dirt in them now that hopefully we'll be able to burn out. Thanks to this little cover here, we can see that the PCV is still leaking. I have it taped around here. You can see the vapors and stuff kind of staining that. This is from the transmission line that leaks when I rev the engine. Sometimes transmission fluid apparently looks like it spews. Yeah, there's still some work that's got to be done. I honestly still don't know if I want to keep this engine cover on there or not. It was a junkyard find. These are actually kind of hard to find, and I did think it was going to be cool to put it on this engine since the Aztecs didn't come with it. But I kind of miss seeing the actual plenum. See, it's starting to warm up now, so it's back to shaking a little bit. It's definitely not misfiring like it was, so that's good. But I think we got to get some fuel cleaner in the system. I'll probably have to get some more gas here soon also. I thought the gas gauge was kind of wonky, which is why it ran out of gas on me, but I've come to realize when the tank gets so low and it starts acting really wonky, that's probably when it's pretty darn empty. So right now I'm assuming it's correct. It doesn't really move a whole lot when I know that there's gas in it, so that's probably what the issue is there. But we'll get more, and that's where we stand on it so far. I got a nice little update about the tech actually. Hopefully it'll all play out. See if we can go back here to the exhaust. It's not really poofing like a misfire, but you know, it's just a little poof here and there. So yeah, it's not really misfiring, but it's a little rough right now. It's getting warm up, quieting down. You can hear the little hiss coming from this. Yes, yes, yes. Also mentioned it in my last vlog also. We're back to this with the window. Just the passenger one still works. So I think my problem area is the harness in the dashboard, right where this goes in. That's where we found our corrosion. I tried to clean the corrosion off of the connector, and I put some dielectric grease on there, but I have a feeling what we're gonna have to do is cut off the connector, splice on another connector on both ends maybe. Hopefully that corrosion didn't travel further into the dashboard, because if so, then that's not going to be a very fun thing to try to figure out. But brand new switch. I thought maybe the wiring in the where I taped it may have come undone, but I did pull this out because I taped the two wires that I had to cut when I was originally testing to find the problem, because I'm no electrician. I don't have electrical tools, and I don't really have any real electrical experience, but I just did what I could. I cut the wires, I jumped power from the Fiesta, since it's sitting here, to get the window up and down and to test the switch and whatnot, but I taped the wires back together, pulled this off, and the wires are still taped together, so the connector for the power wire and the ground wire, that's probably my culprit, and we'll get to that at a later time. I am not worried about the window at this time. I want to get everything else done first, you know. But anyway, so hopefully, if the weather is good enough tomorrow morning, we are going to get the brake lines done. We're going to put the brake lines together on the Aztek. Something that we started to kind of do back in, it was either October or November, when before I was putting the engine back together. We put the brand new lines going to the through the firewall and whatnot for the front brake lines, and we I think we had one of the lines kind of hanging out underneath the car. We just got to finish running them. So hopefully by tomorrow we will have the brake lines on the Aztek finished. One more step to getting this thing back on the road. I am very excited. I am very happy. My friend is coming over. Don't know if I'm really going to document the process or not. Maybe. We might. We'll have to see. But other than that, the weather kind of took a turn, and it's supposed to rain for a majority of the day. And I'm really hoping in the morning we're going to start this early. Hopefully the rain will hold off, and we won't have to worry about the rain ruining this. I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to take to do all this. I honestly don't think we're going to do a whole lot of bending and whatnot. I think, you know, we're not tearing out the old lines. We're just going to route the new lines kind of side by side-ish. I'm sure we'll bend them somewhat so they're not really in the way of anything else. Yeah, so the brake lines. The brake lines should be... I really hope so. They should be they should be done tomorrow. And that's one thing that'll be complete. Yeah, buddy. I'm excited. Other than that, the battery for a while has been hooked up to the car. So the OBD has brought back the service engine light. It's not blinking. There's no flashing, at least. So there's no missing, no misfire. Which is a good thing. That's why I think we just got some nasty dirt in injectors or whatnot, but we'll get to that. But anyway, I think the service engine this time, we had a code when I originally scanned it. It was for the oil pressure switch. So I think that's why the light is back on. The analog and traction light, I also scanned those if you didn't see that video, but the analog and traction are both related to a speed sensor toward the back wheels. And one of the other analog codes is because we unplugged the analog motor when we were doing the brake lines to begin with. The analog brake system is not hooked up to the computer at this time. So we'll let this run for a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to tell you guys about something stupid that I did with my Fusion. Now when I say I did something stupid, I don't mean I purposely did something stupid. I did it on accident. And I'm so upset with myself. I'm like very upset. I don't really think it did anything, but I'm just going to tell you guys anyway because that's what the vlogs are for. Hi, Dunk. So I went to a place and I parked in a parking lot that I wasn't familiar with. There was like a little parking, a couple parking spaces away from the main parking area. So it was a pretty full parking lot when I got there, and I ended up parking the Fusion in this little secluded area. And when I was leaving the parking lot, I backed out and I was facing the exit, but there was a car that was coming around the corner, and I wasn't sure, you know, where this car was really gonna go. So I was kind of keeping my eye on this vehicle, but at the same time I was still kind of moving the Fusion, just, you know, just a small coast. I wasn't like going fast or anything, you know, obviously. So I saw that this car was turning out of my direction, so immediately, without even thinking, I turned to leave this parking lot. And what I did not realize, and this is where I can kick myself so hard because I'm very, very upset, but I ended up taking the entire right side of my Fusion over a curb. There was a little curb that was sticking out, and I didn't think it was there because beside the curb there were more parking spaces. So I thought, just, you know, I didn't realize, I was thinking it was all open when I took the turn and didn't even realize that the curb was there. So the entire, from front wheel all the way to the back wheel, got curbed. And I didn't stop. I was like, I'm just gonna keep going because I felt like an idiot. And when I got to my destination, you know, I got out and I got down here and I was checking to see if I messed anything up. Now, you know, I wasn't going fast when it happened. It was, you know, like 3-4 miles an hour or something. I mean, that's still not good. I was very upset. So I got down, and luckily, I'm wearing shorts right now, so the concrete doesn't feel too good, but doesn't look like I really did anything. This, you know, probably got it. I don't think the engine cover got it. I didn't really get, you know, close to the middle of the engine or anything. It was mostly just the sides and whatnot. You know, I was worried that maybe I'd bent the suspension parts. I was checking to see if the spring, the shock was broken or anything, and I think that's still good. But so yeah, I went all the way down the side here. Let's get down here again. I think the only thing that may have really got it was there's a spot on this shield. Yeah, I think that's it. Looks like I just kind of tore into that shield. The majority of this car has like a cover that runs from basically the front to the back. And I got that a little bit. So I think I did that. And then we got to the rear wheel and it went over the wheel, and yeah, so I don't really think I did anything to it. Exhaust, it didn't make it that far under, it was just the corner. I thought maybe when it came down I scraped the exhaust or something. I might have, I don't know. There's a mark there, but I don't know if that's from me or not. Train's here. So I don't know. It seems to be driving okay. I mean, like I said, I wasn't going fast. I thought, you know, I wanted to check to see if the rocker molding was loose or anything, but it's not. There's a little bit of play at this end, but the other side is the same way, so that's normal. But I was so upset, guys. So upset. Now, the Fusion has, over the last few months, developed a slight shimmy, but we just came out of winter here in Northeast Ohio, obviously. So the particular roads that I have to take to work have all been patched over for potholes, and the road is just awful. It's absolute awful road. Actually, several of the roads. A lot of the roads around here, guys, are awful. So the car bounces constantly, and I'm thinking it probably knocked the car out of alignment, you know, over the last couple months. So that's really nothing new. The car is going to need an alignment at some point. It's not drastically pulling or anything like that. It's still driving pretty decent. But that's what happened, guys. So I don't know, I just thought I'd let you guys in on that. I might see if maybe at some point in the near future, maybe after hours at the dealership, I'll see if one of the service guys can maybe just put it on the rack for me real quick. We'll take a look and see if anything happened, but I think we're okay. I'm just really upset that it happened. I don't do stuff like that. Tech's still running. Thermostat must be open because I smell the coolant. I still need to get my radiator, guys. A lot of setbacks have, you know, taken place, and it sucks. You can see how she's shaking. You can see the wires shaking. She wasn't shaking like that after I fixed the misfire, so just got to get some fuel cleaner in there, I guess. Still running pretty good though. Other than that, she's not, you know, like dressed, nothing like it was, obviously, but yeah, see the steam. I see the steam over there too. Yep. You know, weird thing is, oh, the underside of this car is just terrible. I haven't smelled any gas leaking. I tried to patch up the fuel line. Can't see it from here. I tried to patch up the return line with steel stick for steel, and I don't know if it worked or not, but I don't smell the gasoline leaking like I did when we first had the leak. So I don't know. It's very bizarre, but still something we'll have to replace once we get the radiator done. That's like the major thing right now, really, is the radiator. She's been at temperature, but obviously, you know, I can let it run, and it gets to almost 3/4 of the way up. It'll get maybe slightly past that dot by the 3/4 mark, and then the fans kick on. She comes back down for a little bit, and then the process repeats. So I guess that's normal. So it hasn't really overheated as long as I'm keeping antifreeze in it, but we definitely have you know, an issue with the radiator. Had the radiator tested. We can see the steam. The steam has been coming out of this side of the radiator once it gets warm like this. So if we go back out there, we'll see some slight steam. The other side of the radiator also has steam now. So yeah, we'll get the radiator. Hopefully that'll be the end of that story. It'll have brake lines. It'll hopefully by the end of tomorrow. And other than that, I need to finish completing the power steering system. I got to put the other half of the return line back on the pump, get some fluid in it, and hopefully we'll have power steering. Hopefully. Get some tires and some new brakes, and that's it. She should be good to go. She's definitely come a long way since she came home on a trailer about a year and almost 4 months ago. So I need to get a battery, a real battery, a good new battery before this car goes anywhere, because if I take it out and I don't have a jump box or anything, it's probably not going to start. And hopefully we won't need a radiator, or not a radiator, an alternator after all of the heavy duty running that we've been doing with such poor batteries. Because trying to get that alternator out, that's not going to happen. Because somebody who had the car before me, whoever did it, did something with this bar, and the bolt will not come off. I've tried numerous machines to try to get it off, and it won't budge. So this bar, which is supposed to come off when you do a battery or alternator change, because you can take all this stuff off with it, it's just not budging. So, yep. We'll probably be doing an oil change again soonish. It's been a few months. Really see the steam now. This cap hot? Not really. It's warm, but it's not hot. This hose is hot. Also got to try to get the Aztek moving soon too, because I really don't want it sitting here once we really start getting into the summer months because of the wasps. Last year I found 4 wasps nests on this thing from sitting. So there was one under the headlight, there was one on the inside of this door jamb. When you open the door, there was a tiny one, and on the liftgate glass I found 2. Once you opened it up, they were hanging. One was hanging at the top of the inside of the liftgate glass, and the other one was sitting next to the taillight, on the inside of the taillight. So that's it, guys. I know I've talked a lot at the beginning of this vlog, so hopefully tomorrow we'll have these brake lines done. Today would have been a great day to do it, but I think my friend had to work, and yeah, we'll just go from there. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have lines done. Alright guys, good morning. So today is the day where we're going to hopefully get the brake lines complete on the Aztek. As you can kind of see from the ground in some spots, it rained all night. It's honestly supposed to rain all day too. But from the looks of the radar as of right now, it looks like the rain is nowhere near. Looks like it's gonna take hours and hours and hours to actually make it this way, but it's definitely a cloudy sky, and I'm hopefully that we will be able to get through this today without any rain issues. So let me show you guys exactly what we had to do last time. Just in case you guys didn't see that video. Sorry about that angle there for a second. So the big thing, you can kind of see we got some new lines running towards the ABS motor. Now the ABS motor isn't hooked up at all. It's unplugged, or something's unplugged from it. I think we unplugged something from it. But it's also out of its bracket. It's supposed to sit further back there. I'm kind of concerned about what we're going to do with that, because these fuel lines and the air snorkel and stuff, that was all torn out when we were working on that, which is one of the reasons why we started that first, is because obviously once the engine was put back together, you can't even see the firewall. But there's there's lines that we had to run across the firewall, and yeah, so I can't wait to see what we're gonna have to do with this. I hope they're still here. These are the things that hold on. Ugh. The ABS motor. There's another one in there somewhere. There it is. Where's the boot? Or the grommet? I don't know. I don't really care right now. We'll worry about that when we get to it. And then under the car, I don't know if you'll be able to see it from this angle or not, but we started running one of the lines back, kind of hanging somewhere there. So that's one of our new lines that's just kind of hanging right now. We just have to connect it run it to the back, and then we have to do it. The other one, I'm hoping that I have enough line left. Not really 100% sure how much more line we're going to need. Hopefully my battery's not completely dead at this time, so I can open this. Oh. Okay, I might need to do two hands. Hold on one sec. There we go. Any new nests forming yet? No, I think we're good. Okay. So yeah, there's a couple of lines that I still have here. And I put here's our bender. We're gonna need our line bender. And I put the fittings and stuff that we're going to need. I put them in here so they wouldn't get lost. Line cutter. And like I said, we're probably going to have to go get more items. But this is all we've got right now, what we left off with. So, yep. I got a little bit of brake fluid left. I probably will have to go buy some a new container of brake fluid. Oh yeah, there's not a whole lot in there. Alright. So all I gotta do now is wait for my friend to get here, and we'll start tackling away at this this job. Alright guys, so 5 hours later, the Aztek has a full set of brake lines finally. I didn't really document it because, well, for one, it was kind of a boring process. There's not really a whole lot that, takes place. But I can at least show you guys what we did. So first off here, so we got all of the lines connected to the ABS motor. The motor, because of the lines that we have in here, I mean, the motor's still out of place, and can't really get it back into its home. So for the time being, it's just going to sit like that. It probably isn't going to go anywhere. I'm not really worried about it at this time. But I still have the pieces to, kind of put it back in its place. But we'll worry about that another day. Cruise control is finally back in its place and hooked back up because I left it unhooked, so we had room to get over there. The sensor for the brake fluid level, which I lost, it fell way deep down in there. Finally got that hooked up. Got some brake fluid in it right now. Not a whole lot, I didn't have a whole lot left, but it should be enough to keep that sensor from dinging now that it's hooked back up. We had to remove the coolant reservoir to really work with the stuff here, but that really wasn't that big a deal. So all that is in place, and I'll try to show you guys some of the new lines themselves. Now, mind you, we didn't really fit them where all the old lines were. We just kind of made new paths and bent them to fit accordingly, but they should be fine. So our new driver's side line is right there. It is good. Connected it to here, or right there. The flex line is actually still in good shape. This wheel, I come to find out, has a bad ball joint. Can't see it now, but the bushing on the ball joint is missing a nice chunk, so we probably need to get a ball joint on that. Under this side of the car, we've got our line running right there. The other line, it kind of goes under here. That's the old line there. That was the one that was leaking really bad. But our new line is going from here. We gotta get some zip ties and zip tie it back up, but it is going to about there. And the rest of the old line from that point on is actually pretty decent. So we just spliced it in at that part there. The driver or the passenger side line up front here, we actually connected it while the engine was still torn apart, because somebody had already replaced that line. So if you were to look behind the engine, there's an old piece of line that we connected the new line to against the firewall, because the rest of the line really wasn't all that bad. So that is where that one was pieced together. And finally, the rear passenger side, it comes out from this way. We've got it wrapped just on the outside of the cradle, so it is wrapped right there. Should not at all make any contact with the wheel. And from there, it's going across here, and it splices, I think, in a couple spots because we were a little short, but right around there. And then from there, at that point on back, it's the original line, which also surprisingly looks pretty good. So that's it. My Aztek has brakes. We didn't get to bleed them yet because he left his bleeding tools at another location. So in a few days he'll be back. We will be bleeding the brake system. It's gonna probably take a while to bleed all four. Yeah, I'm just one step to getting it mobile. We had this wheel off. Very first time that this wheel has been off, and it actually didn't look, or the brakes didn't actually look too bad other than the rotor, but the pads, I guess, were actually pretty decent. But on the other side, the pads aren't all that good. So whoever, I don't know, somebody was only changing like one side at a time, I don't know. So that's it. Not a whole lot. I mean, I feel like this vlog was basically just full of additional Aztek updates. But nonetheless, we are updating the Aztek in a good direction. So, yeah. That's all I've got for today's vlog, guys. So hopefully the next update video that you see on the vlog with this car will be the radiator change, because that is really the next big thing to take place on the Aztek. And once the radiator is done, other than new pads and rotors and tires and whatnot, she's ready to go. She is ready for the road, especially now that she can probably stop. So that's going to be it for today's vlog, guys. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Also check out teespring.com/store/Mike's Vehicle Spotlight for all of your MVS and vlog merchandise. And that's all that I have today. I will see you guys next time, so thanks again for watching, and take care.